Every year, during the last weekend in July, thousands of ham radio operators communicate with other enthusiasts on islands all around the world as part of the IOTA, Islands on the Air, contest. This international contest is organised by the RSGB, the Radio Society of Great Britain, creating an enjoyable and stimulating contest where the participants put their skills to the test. It also provides an opportunity to make expeditions to small islands where there is not normally any ham radio activity. These expeditions make contact possible between these islands and fellow operators all around the world, thereby adding another record to their log. The contest lasts 24 hours, from noon UTC on Saturday until noon UTC on Sunday. Each contact is worth either 3 or 15 points, depending on whether or not the station making contact is on an island. The points total is then multiplied by the number of islands worked on, these are called the multipliers, to obtain the final score. In May 2004, a group of Portuguese and Spanish friends, all fellow enthusiasts, decided to form a team to take part in that year's contest, which was held on the 24th and 25th of July. The destination chosen for the operation is the Berlenga Islands archipelago. These islands are located 80 kilometers north of Lisbon and 7 miles off the coast of Cape Carboeiro, near the town of Peniche. The Berlenga Islands are a nature reserve, which means that apart from the compulsory telecommunications authorization, permission from the environmental authorities is also required. With both permits obtained, the Portuguese National Communications Authority approved the operation with the special call sign CS7T, Charlie Sierra 7 Tango. After 2 months of preparations, the contest date is now very near. 2 members of the Charlie Sierra 7 Tango team, Pepe EA1DKV and José Alberto EA1OS, go over some last-minute details.
Roger, Pepe, perfecto. Pois xa quedamos así entón. Mañá paso a recollerte ás 10 da mañá.
And on the morning of Thursday the 22nd, they leave A Coruña in the company of Javier EA1CA. On a cloudy day with a moderate temperature, ideal for travelling, our friends cross Galicia in northwestern Spain from north to south, heading for Portugal. The ham radio set installed in the car allows them to make some communications that help make the journey a pleasant one. After travelling 400 kilometres, lunchtime is near, and on the exit from the motorway at Estrella near Aveiro, another 3 team members, Lopez CT1 CJJ, his son Felipe CT1 ILT, and José CT1 Echo Bravo, wait for the travellers coming from Coruña. Lopez and José won't be able to go to the island until the following afternoon due to work commitments, but Felipe will join our friends on the journey. What all of them can do together is enjoy a fabulous stewed bass before setting off again. After travelling another 200 kilometres, another stop, this time in San Martinho de Porto. There, within sight of his antennas, the expeditionaries wait for another team member, José Brillante, CT1 APE, who takes them to his house where they will spend the night. CT1 APE's antennas, on top of a 40-metre high tower obtained from an American jamming station, looks out over a beautiful valley that goes down to the sea towards the west. Inside Brillante's shack, we can marvel at a station that dreams are made of, with the latest sets made by Kenwood, ICOM and Yaesu. There is also a large quantity of vintage sets, of which he is a collector. There are Collins, Drake, Hallicrafters. As the afternoon goes on, our friends get involved in a lively discussion full of anecdotes and technical asides. And after making contact with the other 3 team members still missing, Felipe CT2 GLO, Tony CT1 FFU, and Gerardo EA4ST, they arrange to have supper in a place nearby where Brillante has a surprise ready waiting for them. The nearby town of Óbidos is celebrating its medieval fair. The history of Óbidos goes back to pre-Roman times, and its city walls and towers are witnesses to its importance during the Middle Ages. They also create an ideal backdrop for this fair, where our friends relax after the long trip. And to make the relaxing evening complete, there's nothing better than savouring a good roast washed down with an excellent local wine in any one of the numerous stalls at the fair. The night draws on, and it's a good idea to get some sleep, as tomorrow will be a very busy day. Friday the 23rd of July, 10 o'clock in the morning. The group, now almost complete, sets off towards the port of Peniche, 50 kilometers away, where they will set sail for the island. On the road once again. Peniche is Portugal's main fishing port and is the most westerly in Europe. The scheduled service boats that cover the journey to the Berlenga Islands also leave from these docks. While they wait for the arrival of the Cabo Avelar Pessoa, the boat on which they will travel to the island, our friends have breakfast in the shade of one of the port's pavement cafes. At last, the boat comes into port. Tony CT1 FFU oversees the last details before climbing aboard, and the boat sets off on its trip towards the island, carrying all the material and part of the expeditionary team. The other group, after doing some last-minute shopping, will leave half an hour later in Brillante's speedboat. On leaving behind the port's estuary, Felipe CT2 GLO puts the coordinates into the GPS and lines up the direction of 285 degrees. Destination Berlenga Islands. The island welcomes the visitor with its imposing granite facade, crowned by the lighthouse. The boat takes approximately 45 minutes to cover its journey, while Brillante's speedboat takes only 15. Which means that when the launch arrives, the teammates that travelled by boat have just unloaded the material. Welcome to the Berlengas. Now all the equipment, some 500 kilos, has to be carried up to the place of operation in the vicinity of the lighthouse. Fortunately, the lighthouse keepers have offered the use of their small service tractor to our friends. It's the only motorized land vehicle that exists on the island. Even without carrying anything, the climb up to the lighthouse needs to be done slowly. Even though the distance is barely 1 kilometer, the slope makes it hard work right from the very start. The Berlenga's lighthouse was constructed in 1841. It's 29 meters high, it reaches for 30 miles, and the energy needed for the lamp is supplied by a battery system charged by solar panels. At the moment, there are 2 lighthouse keepers that take turns to do shifts of 24 hours, but before that there was a military garrison. The garrison's old barracks are now rented out as a hostel for tourists at €3 per person per night. And one of these barracks will be used by our friends to house all their equipment. All the lighthouse staff welcome the expeditionaries with the islanders' customary hospitality. The climb up to the lighthouse makes for a hungry appetite, and thanks to Brillante's exceptional quartermaster skills, our friends enjoy their first meal on the Berlengas. After a brief rest, the antenna installation begins. The first antenna to be hung from the lighthouse is a double Zeppelin with symmetric feeder for 40 and 80 meters. Not long after, the quad antenna for 10, 15 and 20 meters is ready to be raised. This was constructed with fishing rods following a design by EA1DKV and EA1OS. Next, it's the turn for an inverted V dipole for 40 and 80 meters. At the same time, already underway, is the installation of the sets in the place chosen to be the operations centre, the old barracks kitchen. Lastly, the 4th antenna is hoisted, a coil-loaded dipole from 10 to 40 meters. Once the installation is complete, Jose CT1 Echo Echo Bravo checks that everything works correctly and he begins to call.
Europe 040, keywords in. Charlie Tango 1 Echo Echo Bravo portable on Europe 040 for IOTA and bimming North America, keywords in.
To begin with, the results are not those expected. The propagation is still not open with North America. Nevertheless, there are good conditions with Europe and the Middle East.
The Florida radio, U59.
You're also 59 on the Mediterranean, 4X4, Florida radio, over.
Echo Juliet Bravo, U59.
Roger, 59, Italy, Zulu 8, Echo Juliet Bravo, Roger.
Italy Zulu 8, Echo Juliet Bravo, my report.
59 plus.
59, thanks. Charlie Tango 1, Echo Bravo Portable, Europe 040.
X-ray America.
The X-ray America, U59.
USA Sugar Papa 5, Mike X-ray America, Yorkshire 59. Give me reference from Portugal Island.
Sugar Papa 5, Mike X-ray America, I don't know. Should be Echo Sierra 001, if I'm not mistaken. Should be Echo Sierra 001 for the Portuguese Islands Award. This is Charlie Tango 1, Echo Bravo, portable on Europe 040, keywords in.
Mike Charlie.
Mike Charlie, U59. Mike Charlie, U59.
India Hotel 9, Yankee Mike Charlie 59, Africa 18.
India Hotel 9, Mike Charlie, Roger.
No, Yankee Mike Charlie, India Hotel 9, Yankee Mike Charlie 59, Africa 18.
Well, yeah, thanks. Look for us tomorrow as Charlie Sierra 7 Tango. Look for us tomorrow during the contest. We'll be using Charlie Sugar 7 Tango, Roger.
Okay, Roger, I will be...
Among the contacts made, from time to time there appear other stations transmitting from islands, and Jose takes the opportunity to announce that they will be participating in tomorrow's contest using the call sign Charlie Sierra 7 Tango.
Let's try, okay.
A bit of publicity is always welcome. Throughout the night and with the lighthouse keeper's visit, the testing goes on. While Tony's CT1 FFU works in the running station with a Kenwood TS450S set, Javier EA1CA carries out telegraphy in the multiplier station, equipped with an ICOM IC751. The conditions for propagation don't seem to be very good, but everybody trusts that tomorrow things will get better for the contest. In a corner, Pepe EA1DKV, surprised by the excellent working of the filters brought by Lopez to minimize the interaction between the two stations, can't resist the temptation to open one of them and to observe its construction, with who knows what crooked intention. Saturday morning. The competition begins at 12 noon UTC, so there's enough time to visit other parts of this lovely island. Tony and Lopez take the opportunity to go for a walk and to strike up a conversation with one of the island's inhabitants. But the walk isn't complete without having a view of the island from the sea, and Brillante Speedboat provides the perfect means to this end. The view of the fort of St. John the Baptist from this perspective brings to mind the siege suffered in 1643, when it was heroically defended by only 28 Portuguese against the attack made by 1,500 Spaniards in 10 ships. On the island's coast there are many freshwater caves, an authentic paradise for scuba divers. Some can be crossed from one side to the other by speedboat, and the imagination conjures up pirate stories, privateers and hidden treasure. Taking advantage of the trip, our friends visit some small islands nearby, the Estella Islands, to check if there's a place on their craggy coast where it's possible to disembark for a future operation, thus putting these small islands on air for the first time. The matter isn't at all easy, but a spot is found that has possibilities for a few hours operation using a basic set. Time goes on, and the start of the contest is now very near. It's time to go back to the island where everything is ready to begin. After the corresponding drawing of lots for the shifts, the person responsible for opening the participation of Charlie Sierra 7 Tango in the contest shall be Lopez, CT1 CJJ, and at 12 o'clock UTC he begins to make his calls.
Contest, Charlie Sugar 7 Tango, Charlie Sugar 7 Tango.